More women hold political office now than ever before, but can a woman ever become president? After Chisholm in 72 and Ferraro in 84, the possibility of a serious woman candidate does exist for 88.
The only reason to run is to run to win.
What it could take for her to win the highest office in the land. Monday, watch ABC's World News Tonight with Peter Jennings.
Meet Will Shriner. He's putting the fun back into your mornings on Channel 7, just before AM Buffalo.
It's the Will Shriner Show with Will's guest, comedy star Billy Crystal. From General Hospital, Tristan Rogers. Judith Jackson with therapeutic massage. And if you want to find a relationship in 6 weeks, author Nita Tucker tells you how.
It's all happening on the Will Shriner Show, Monday morning at 9 here on Channel 7.
Radio to Moscow, the story on Nightcast.
Monday. Just another day on the job for MacGyver. Then, no football.
I'm on my way.
Search for Spock in a network television premiere. Monday, it's Star Trek 3. Football, nothing.
Tuesday.
Does your dad know you're dating a college man? My father treats me as an adult.
Where is he?
Who's the boss? Then,
Jason, if I hear one more rejection today, I'm going to scream.
Mom, you don't need a job to feel good. I mean, I've never had a job and I feel great.
growing pains. Tuesday.
We'll be right back.
Hey, Dolly.
Well, hi.
Larry's on the cheater's diet.
I can always tell when you're lying because you say everything twice.
I'm not lying. I am not lying.
Perfect strangers. Then, school's in session and love's in bloom.
I am a slime ball.
Head of the class after Perfect Strangers.
Wednesday.
Can chicken soup cure depression? The story on Nightcast.
Tuesday, a night of moonlighting and something more.
I was just thinking maybe we should call this whole thing off.
First,
What you say? Hit the road, Dave. Don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Dave.
the season premiere of Moonlighting. Then, the generation that wouldn't grow up.
I don't believe this.
Just settled down. The premiere of 30-something, right after the season premiere of Moonlighting. Tuesday.
Next, he's a down-home doctor in a high-tech world.
You could be replaced.
I used to get on some decent fishing.
The premiere of Buck James. Next.
A CTV News Update brought to you by Texaco. Here is Lloyd Robertson.
Prime Minister Mulroney says the Premier's support plans for free trade negotiations through the weekend. He says differences remain, but Americans seem flexible. The Speaker of Iran's parliament predicts another confrontation with Americans in the Persian Gulf as attacks on shipping by Iran and Iraq continue. Canada's Labour Minister tells inside workers to settle quickly or face back-to-work legislation. Back after this. Details on today's stories later on the CTV National News.
This is the CTV Television Network. The best you can see. This is CFTO TV.
A CTV News Update brought to you by Texaco. Here is Lloyd Robertson.
December 7th. That's the date set for a summit meeting in Washington between Ronald Reagan and Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev. They'll sign a deal to eliminate intermediate-range nuclear missiles. Security guards grab an American man as he runs screaming towards Pope John Paul at St. Peter's Basilica in Rome. The worst may be over as stock markets around the world post strong gains today. Back after this. Details on today's stories later on the CTV National News.
More Americans get their news from ABC News than from any other source, and Peter Jennings is one of the reasons why.
If you expect the best of us, it is something we have to live up to.
Expect the world of ABC News.
The Bills bop the Broncos. The story on Nightcast.
He could conquer a continent, but not the woman who ruled his hearts. Josephine, starting Tuesday.
I'll be right back, and I sure hope you will be, too.
Tuesday, it's a farewell to Nick.
He had a heart attack at the racetrack. That's the way he would have wanted to go.
That was his second choice.
Who's the boss? Then, Carol's two-timing her boyfriend.
Your sister is not the type who flirts.
They all are, Dad.
Growing pains. Tuesday.
A deputy hit by gunfire fights for his eyesight. The story on Nightcast.
A cop's life.
I don't want anybody but Buck James operating on it.
A doctor's career.
I can't find anything that suggests incompetent.
Buck James, next.
This week on Good Morning America, the American Indian. He's reclaiming his stake in our country through the government and the courts. David Hartman returns as a guest correspondent reporting on the American Indian, how he's regaining lost land, winning fishing rights, and building new industry while holding on to his heritage. The new American Indian Wars this week on Good Morning America.
Wednesday. Balky takes a course at Kung Fu U. It's Perfect Strangers. Then, the kids make a smash hit with their version of Grease. Head of the class right after Perfect Strangers.
Wednesday. An ABC News brief. Now for Washington, Tom Gerald.
Good evening. Sources tell ABC News that unless the Justice Department comes up with a better choice by Wednesday, President Reagan plans to nominate federal Judge Anthony Kennedy to the Supreme Court. In Northern Ireland, a bomb killed 11 people and injured 60 others at a ceremony for Britain's war dead. In the Middle East, the Palestinian terrorist group, headed by the notorious Abu Nidal, seized a pleasure boat and took 8 Israelis on board hostage. That hijacking is considered a slap at Jordan's King Hussein, who's hosting an emergency Arab summit. More later on the Weekend Report.
A robbery suspect is caught red-handed. The story on Nightcast.
Thank you, God. Thank you for sending my mother.
Tonight at 7, the dramatic story of a young mental patient.
You make me sick.
But she turns herself around.
Good. I know I can do it.
Marlo Thomas is nobody's child. Then at 9.
I couldn't teach a third grader to read because 3 months ago, I couldn't read a word of English.
Dennis Weaver was bluffing it until it caught up with him.
I don't know how to read.
In the premiere of Bluffing It, a social-minded double bill, starting at 7 tonight.